Hey, have you been wondering what kind of life coach certification you need to be a life coach? Or if you even need one at all? Stick around in this video. I'm gonna give you my thoughts based on well over a decade in this industry, and I'll let you know why my answer is emphatically no. And yes, I'll explain. Don't tell anybody that I have shorts on. They won't be able to see it. And on this channel, I publish videos every week, so make sure you click the subscribe button and click that little bell icon so you get notified every time I go live and publish videos if you're interested in hearing the truth about the coaching industry. So by the end of this video, I'm gonna give you all the information you need to decide if you need a coaching certification at all. If you don't know me, I'm Sean Smith. I'm the founder of Elite Coaching University, where we give you the skills to be a better coach and the strategies to build a bigger business. Now, I've been coaching in this industry for well over a decade. I look really dark. This is kind of creepy, actually. Dang it, that's not gonna work. I've been coaching in this industry for well over a decade now. I've been in this conversation around certifications, what's needed, what's not, many times, and you are about to get what's in my head. This conversation really comes down to the value of a certificate and the value of certainty. This actually is not my coaching certificate. It's my master's. Master of Arts in Education I was. So do you really need a certification or some kind of credential to open up a life coaching business? The answer is no. There's no legal body in this industry. It's not like medicine or law or psychiatry or therapy where you have to pass some kind of a board certification program to open up a business, and then you have to get, what are those called? Oh, continuing education in order to stay in business. We don't have a legal body like that. The upside is that you don't need a certification to open up a business. The downside is that you don't need a certification to open up a business. Now, I don't want to be super judgmental, but there's some coaches that probably shouldn't have a business. No disrespect to them, but they haven't been trained properly. And that's one of the downsides about not having some kind of board that sets standards. Now, the closest thing we have to that, in my experience, is the ICF, which is the International Coach Federation, but they still don't have any legal power. So even though they have a lot of standards and their curriculum is phenomenal, super high level of training, if you don't follow their standards or you don't get a credential by them, they can't come in and shut you down. And there another light just turned on. 2 lights turned on. Fantastic. See, I don't know how to turn my lights off. They're all on sensors. I've only been here 3.5 years, so you can't expect me to know how to work my lights. Here's to a more enlightened conversation. I don't have anything bad to say about the ICF at all. I really respect them as an organization. But my experience is that their value in providing certification is really just to coaches, not prospects. So in all my experience with prospects, if you've demonstrated that you can help them, they really don't care if you got your schooling from a certain institution or not. They just want the help. I mean, if they have a splinter in their thumb and they want you to take it out, do you think they're really going to check in with where you went to schooling and see your credential on the wall? No, they just want the splinter out. So that's pretty much how it is with prospects. If you show them that you can help them make a significant change in their life, they will hire you. In all my experience in the coaching industry, I've only been asked maybe 8 to 10 times where I got certified. But they were always by other coaches who I guess just wanted to compare credentials, never by a prospect. Now, the one caveat I would add to that is if you're in some sort of academic market like medicine or law or any other industry that places a high level of value on academic credentials, well then everything I just said, throw it out the window. But for the most part, in most markets, people just want help in their life or some kind of business strategy, so they won't really care about the academic credential. The most important thing in this whole conversation is whether or not you're a good coach, not whether you have a piece of paper hanging on the wall. I mean, would you rather get in the car with somebody who just has a driver's license or somebody that knows how to drive? Now, if you ask me my opinion, I don't really see this happening in the coaching industry where we have a legal board, but I would love to see it become reality, so that we can tighten up the standards of the industry and get a lot more consistency in the curriculum so that most coaches really truly have a grasp of transformational strategies and what it actually takes to change a human's life. If and when that happens, I think we would all be better off, both coaches and clients. But those are just my personal thoughts about the legal conversation. But the reason I really think you need a certification is so that you have the certainty in your body to actually attract clients. You see, a good certification program is going to give you 4 main things: profession, process, projection, and practice. So the first thing is that you'll just feel professional. I mean, it feels really good to complete a certification program and get a certificate with your name on it. And it also matches the way we think about a legitimate career. First you get trained, and then you start your business. So when you complete a high quality training program, it actually changes your psyche a little bit. It makes you kind of feel good about yourself, right? As you get ready to start this business. Plus, there's nothing like celebrating a job well done and a lot of hard work and effort, especially when you go through a program with your peers. The second thing that a good certification program will give you is a process. So you need to have some kind of a path to illuminate in order for your prospects to feel good about hiring you. And let me tell you, if you don't know the basics of human behavior and you can't put that into some sort of framework that people can understand and get excited about following, it's going to be really difficult for you to create the distinction necessary to make people think that you can actually change their life. Now, having said that though, you don't want to lay out every single one of your steps and tell them exactly what you're going to do, because if you give the intellect too much information like that, it'll think that it can just go off and do this on its own, and you're actually going to talk yourself out of clients. But that's getting into the sales process, and it's a little bit beyond the scope of this particular video. I'm gonna open that whole thing up though in another video so you can really truly understand what it takes to sell coaching packages. But if you wanna get a little bit of a head start on that, I created a sales training, and it'll help you close as much as 80% of your prospects on your consultation calls. It's got a script that I created, and we teach it to our salespeople in order to know exactly what to say when you're on the phone with somebody who might be interested in hiring you as a coach. And if you have any resistance or fear of sales, get your hands on that consultation guide so you can increase your certainty when you're on the phone. Now, the third thing that a good certification is going to give you, and this is really big in the sales conversation, is the ability to provide what we call projection. Projection. And what that means is you project the future and really give people a sense of what your coaching process is going to be able to do to help them decide if this is a good fit or not. Now, as I hear myself say that, I want you to understand your job is not to get people to say yes. I can't stand when people teach things like how to get every client to say yes or how to overcome every objection. Listen, as a coach, you don't want everybody to say yes. I think your job should be to provide enough clarity so that they know whether this is a good fit and they're a yes, or whether it's not a good fit and they're a no. I think all these sales tactics that try to strong arm people to say yes to coaching is one of the main reasons that the industry has a little bit of a black eye and people think it's kind of dirty. We're not selling widgets here. We're inviting people into an intimate exchange of us helping them change something in their life, and if that relationship is not solid from the beginning, then it's not going to go well. So what that kind of projection might sound like is, when you go through my program, here's my intention for you. I want you to have more happiness in your relationships. I want you to have more confidence at your job. And I really want to help you drop these 10 pounds that you've been struggling to get off. Now, you wouldn't generally put all of those into one coaching program. I'm giving you several different examples depending on whatever it is that you coach on. But the idea is that you let them know what the future can hold if and when they follow this process. But it's very difficult to do that if there isn't a process. Now, you never want to guarantee results. I think that's disingenuous. I think it's actually almost fraudulent because we don't know how the person is going to respond, what kind of commitment they're going to have, etc. But at the very least, you can give them an idea of what they could experience in your coaching. However, you can only do that if there's a process that's specifically engineered to generate that outcome. But if you don't have a process and you're just like, hey, I'm a life coach and you're a client, so let's just get together and talk a little bit on the phone and good things are going to happen, you probably won't get very many clients. And the fourth thing you're going to get in a good certification program is practice. The only way to increase your confidence in coaching and certainty in yourself is through intentional, strategic practice. I mean, look, nowadays, coaching is extremely competitive. It's not like a decade ago or 20 years ago where it was just starting. There are a lot of coaches out there. And if you're not showing up with the right, authentic energy that's going to create trust, you're going to really struggle. Now, I don't say that to scare you. I say that to hopefully help prepare you for what you're going to need to show up powerfully and be successful as a coach. And if you're not in a well-designed certification program, chances are you're not getting the kind of strategic practice that's necessary to build these coaching muscles. I mean, coaching is a specialized skill set. If you really want to understand human psychology and learn the tools and techniques to change somebody's life, you got to be intentional about it. So a good certification is going to set you up with how to practice, going to set you up with people to practice on, and hopefully you actually have some experienced coaches as well to give you feedback on the tools and techniques as you learn them. So those are the 4 things that you should get from a good certification program. Now, of course, I wouldn't do a video on certification if I didn't give a shameless plug about my certification program, right? I teach something called Neuro Transformational coaching, which is being able to change people's neurology so that the habit shifts actually are long-lasting and sustainable. I have a philosophy that if you don't change your neurology, you can't have a true breakthrough. Now, if you want more information to see if that course is a good fit for you, check out the link in the description below. So in summary, if you really want to be successful as a coach, just get a certification. Don't try to cut corners and shortcut your success in this industry. And you don't need the certification to try to impress people with some shiny framed piece of paper, but you need it to really impact people with the skills, the certainty, and the knowledge you're going to get from a really good certification program. So I hope this discussion has been valuable for you. Please comment below with any thoughts or questions you may have, even if you disagree with anything that I said inside this certification conversation. And if you're interested in the sales training or my online certification, go ahead and click those links in the description. And if you like this video, let me know by liking and subscribing and sharing if you'd like to. You can actually take the transcript of this video, write it down in handwriting, and mail it to anybody out there across the globe who really needs this information. They would love that. Think of your grandparents, in-laws, maybe long-lost friends from high school. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the bloopers, and I'll see you in the next video. What's up? How come nobody's sticking around? Am I that boring already? Okay, yeah, so you're saying I'm smooth, huh? Is that what it means to be liquid? So just before I started recording, I took a drink and spilled on my shirt. My camera's gonna run out of battery. Dang it. So you can stay in touch. What the heck? What does that mean? Summa cum laude. Master of Arts and Education I was. Do or do not. There is no try. You're not just gonna get that willy-nilly. Willy-nilly? Where the hell did that come from? Now I publish channels on this video every single... It's late.